All right. We are live. We're going to be underwriting a deal together today, and we are going to keep looking into another part of the St. Louis market. So, today, when we are going through the St. Louis market, I'm moving a little bit to the right today to try to understand the market a little bit better. So, I looked for homes that were under 100 grand just to see if there's an outsized opportunity. So, I stumbled into this property, 96.9K. So, let's kind of type in some numbers here. And what do we do again, right? The first thing we do is we go to HUD FMR. We go to small area FMR. So we try to find a zip code. So we're going to go here, St. Louis. Let's go Missouri. Missouri. And we are in St. Louis County today. What do we have? 63033. 63033. The three-bedroom rent is 1640. Let me write that down. 63033. 63033. This way I can quickly understand what my properties are. Next time I kind of quickly look at it so I don't necessarily always have to come back to the website. 1640. So 1640 and then 1910. 1910 is my ceiling rent. And I want to get the market rents now. So remember what we do is we go to affordablehousing.com and then we go to the owner section and then the market rate estimator section right here. Once you click on that, let the ad go away. Just what we do every day. Not the most exciting thing, but just part of the daily habits. If you ever want to invest in affordable housing, you just got to analyze the deal every single day and build up the repetition, and eventually you figure out whether or not something is a deal or not. This thing's loading, so I don't know why it's taking so long. While that's loading, I'll just start punching in some numbers then. So 1295, 96, 900. Great. What I'm going to do is get the property tax numbers. So what's the property tax number at the bottom? This is 96. Ooh, there's an HOA here. 96 for property taxes. 300 is the HOA. So I want to equals. So typically, St. Louis County will make you pay for sewer, which is 65 bucks a month. But then in this case, there's also an HOA. So I'm going to write sewer plus HOA so people can understand what's going on with this property. And then on homeowner insurance, it's 71 bucks. So at $71, that's usually assuming it's a primary residence property. So I always add a 20% premium on there just so I can assume that it's not going to stay as cheap as a primary residence, just because typically people assume that there's just a little bit more risk there. I'm leaving my assumptions here at 10% for maintenance and CapEx, knowing that something is going to break every single year. Because FMR right now, my best case scenario is going to be 1910. So I'm going to write 1910 here. So I'm going to go through some scenarios with you guys today. 96,000. Let's take a look at the conditions. This one loaded. Okay, great. It loaded. So I'm going to put in the address here and I'm putting in 3 bedrooms. So what I'm doing on affordablehousing.com right now is grabbing the market rent. So typically when you are underwriting a deal, but you're underwriting a deal for Section 8, you want to make sure 1462. You want to make sure your rent that you're setting aside for your property is reasonable. 1492 and then 1292. Okay. What this says is like, hey, this might be my floor right now because it found 24 units within a 0.79 mile radius within this property, and they were all about 1292. So the housing authority, even though the rent ceiling for 63033 for a 3-bedroom property might be 1640, the housing authority might say, hey, your home is not worthy of 1640 because we don't allow you to charge a rent that's higher than all the market comparables because that's not reasonable. They don't want voucher holders to necessarily pay more for rent just simply because they are a voucher holder. That's one way. So you must talk to your local housing authority and try to figure out whether or not how they determine rent reasonableness and what sort of amenities do they take in place. Because we just saw that this property has an HOA. Is there a pool? Are the gated areas or the children's playground that's off as exclusive for homeowners in this HOA? I don't know, but that's something that you want to clarify with your audience, specifically with your housing authority, to try to figure out whether or not it's something that they actually take attention for. We just had somebody. Yeah, you guys have any questions? I can see some of your chats coming into Instagram. So you guys have any questions, just make sure you leave them there. So four bedrooms. Ooh, boom! Look at this. What a big jump, right? It's 1790 right now for a four-bedroom property, and that's because it's stretched out to a 1.69 mile radius. So at 1690, this is 1910. All right. So there is some opportunity here. So it's going from 16 1910. Let's write down these rents. This 1790, 1790, and then it's 1762, and then it's 1780, and now it's 1958. Great. Okay. So here's what's going on in my head. If my floor for a three-bedroom property was 1292, and now all of a sudden my floor, quote unquote floor, because it's market rent, my four bedroom is 1790. I will get a almost $500 higher floor for rent if I am turning this property into a four bedroom property. So in my opinion, it's almost a no brainer that I have to convert this property into a four bedroom property. And luckily there's a garage here. So I want to see quickly how much renovations are there for this property. Let's kind of go through the photos and see if we can look at this together. I'm just going to scan through this. Okay, some stuff. So look like it's paint, carpet. So I'll probably replace the flooring. I'll probably just replace the bathroom vane to make it a little bit look more modern. Probably replace the stove too to make it stainless steel. Kitchen other looks okay. I mean, it's not like the best kitchen, but it's not the fanciest kitchen. Bathroom looks okay. Maybe you want to replace some of the shower doors to make it look nicer. Okay, mostly looking like a cosmetic rehab for an entire place. This looks some old grungy carpet. Okay, and here's your garage. Okay, what I'll do is like you could probably just partition one of these. You can probably easily partition one of these garage side doors into a bedroom, but just by framing it alongside where this pole is. Oh, there's an additional bedroom down there. Okay, so based off the photos only, and I don't have somebody walking the property for me right now, I'm going to make some assumptions. So let's go to rehab calculator. And if you guys want the rehab calculator, just I leveraged this off of somebody else, and I kind of made it my own by adding my own kind of spin on things. So as I kind of go through some of these items, I'm not painting the exterior. Exterior looks fine. Uh, I'm not doing anything to the garage doors exterior. So for the most part, it looks okay. I'm gonna repaint the entire house. So it's 1362. So I'm gonna type in 1362 square feet right here. And it looks like I have to essentially replace the flooring on the entire house. So that's 1362 right there. I'm going to assume at least one of the bathrooms. I want one of the bathrooms to be really, really nice. So I'm going to put aside 8 grand for that big bathroom renovation there. Let's see. In the kitchen, the cabinets, I'll probably refinish them. The sink, I think I need to replace. I definitely need a new range hood. The dishwasher was kind of old, but let's replace that just so there's a nicer one. And what else do we have? We need a vanity cabinet. So we're probably going to do 2 of those to make sure that they have a nice thing. Bathtub. We probably need to replace the bathtub with some fiberglass or something like that. So let's do bathtub and shower surround. Okay. And then new construction framing. We're definitely going to add an extra bedroom, so I set aside $20,000 to do that to convert a garage. Just a rough estimate. We're not doing ceiling repairs here. This was used to previously estimate some ceiling repairs for a property that we went live and analyzed together yesterday. No foundation issues from what I saw. No mini splits needed. I'm assuming the HVAC is okay. I'm assuming the water heater is okay, but we'll find out during the inspection. I'm not putting anything for termites, so what does that give me to roll? Total rehab right now is $65,000 to turn this into a 5-bedroom property. So at this rate, even if I get the ceiling rent at 1910, just to kind of go through all the scenarios for you guys, 1910, this property right now is 455, and this is now a 5.9% cash and cash return. So I'm not even going to do the worst scenarios because this is well below my investment criteria. But you can see what killed the deal here. Even though the property was under 100 grand, a $300 HOA fee really killed it when you're assuming a 25% down and a 7.5% interest rate. So that absolutely killed it. Now, the only way for this to be a deal is maybe we can go to PropStream and see if there is a mortgage in place that we take over subject to. And here I loaded up PropStream, and you go to, usually there's a section called mortgage and transaction history. Let me show you this. But right then and there, you can tell that this is not a property that has a mortgage on it. It looks like they're a bunch of cash sales. So that doesn't help. But if you think about it, right, if you were to offer, hey, maybe this property, maybe the seller wants the seller finance a deal. What would make this a deal for us? Well, what if the seller finances property at 0%? Meaning I give them 25% down payment, but then they finance the rest at 0%. Still not a deal. It's only 9%. So the only way this could be a deal is if I can even lower this to like a $50,000 home, which doesn't seem realistic. So this is painstakingly not a deal. So this was, I don't say it was a waste of time, but it helped us understand to not look in this area specifically if there is an HOA for this property. And you don't really need, yeah, this is just not a deal. Let's see, what are the comments are? That place is nice, little fixing. Yeah, Magnolia. 6% is a no-no. That is correct. Even if they fund it as, and this is the best case scenario too, right? This is assuming I get the max ceiling rents. So this is hands down not a deal, even if I get turned into a 4-bedroom property. And that's probably because it costs so much money, right? If I had a contractor walk it and then they all of a sudden say like, hey, the rehab's actually 40 grand, it's still so far off that this is probably not worth my time to go a little bit deeper in order to figure out whether or not this is worth a deal. And in the zip code and 63033, yeah, it just wasn't worth it. So, all right, cool. That was Friday night, analyzing the deal, and Friday the 13th. Please be safe. I wish you the best of luck today, and we're going to do this again tomorrow. So if you're watching this and you want the calculator, just DM me your email at investwithkenthe on Instagram. That's at investwithkenthe. And please join our free Facebook group. We just started our free Facebook group for the affordable housing community. And my goal here is to provide community where all of us can share all the resources that we have painstakingly gathered. Because in my opinion, building the team is probably the hardest thing you can do, because once you have the right team, that's what really allows you to be successful. I remember when I started investing in Scottsdale, that was probably us figuring out like, hey, let's invest here because we wanted to specialize in bachelorette homes and because we already had the team in place in terms of designers, the realtors, and everything. So we're going to analyze the deal every single day, continuing on in the live Facebook group. So please join the free Facebook group, Affordable Housing and Real Estate Investing. DM me if you want the calculator. And yeah, just part of the work, part of the process. I'll analyze the deal every single day. And this isn't the most fun part, but it's also part of the work. And sometimes when you realize that the hardest part is raising capital, well, people will probably only invest with you if they think you know what a deal looks like. The only way to prove that you know what a deal looks like is by showing them that you have an undeniable resume or undeniable history of how many properties you have analyzed in the past. So I have built a habit of analyzing a deal every single day. So I've analyzed over hundreds and hundreds of properties now. So that also gives me the confidence to say, hey, I've seen about 100 deals that were not deals before I found one that was a deal. And every single time you start to figure out like, hey, if there's no HOA, then I can buy a property between 100 grand to 130 grand. But if there's an HOA that's $300, it really doesn't make any sense. If you DM me your email at investwithkenthe on Instagram, I'll make sure I send you the calculator, or I can send you the free Facebook group invite. Just let me know what you want. If you want both, even better. But thank you so much for your time, guys. It really, really means the world to me that you guys are paying attention and listening. There's no real big glory in this, except I just want to lead by example, and the team and resources that I get and that I learn about, that I make the connections with to all these markets, I hope to share them with all of you because that's probably the best way to to eliminate the fear from your mind about investing out of state or investing in a certain market. You got to have the right team in place. And hey, there's no guarantees that the contractors are going to do something they want every single time. But at the very minimum, if someone has had some experience with them, then I think you guys would be willing to share those resources with one another. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing Friday, and we are out.